Hey everyone, thought I'd do a quick first impressions kind of 2-hour review of this new KTM 300 EXE TBI that I just got. It's a 2024 model, so this is a run out model. This has been out for like a year. The 2025s are out already, and so this is a bit out of date, but for anyone looking to buy one of these type of bikes, I think they're pretty similar, besides from some graphics and stuff, but first impressions are, yeah, really like it. For context, I'm coming off a Gas EC300, a 2021 TPI model, so that was the one with the linkage, and this is obviously PDS suspension. I like that bike. It was really comfortable to ride. I upgraded the suspension. I put KTM valving in and a bladder conversion, which really helped with the soft Explore forks. But yeah, this is a little bit different. It feels very nimble. It likes to turn. It's definitely likes to turn more than that gas. It's a little bit more skittish, and the suspension is very firm. And bordering on harsh. I took out 2 clicks on the compression, and that helped a bit. But it's a kind of bike that doesn't want to let you ride lazy, so you have to kind of really be in that attack position, knees bent, hips back, and if you kind of straighten your arms or stand up too tall, it kind of lets you know, because it sort of shocks you gives you a jolt through the forks. But when you do get in that attack position, it really soaks up everything, and it actually, the suspension doesn't deflect, it doesn't dive, it doesn't just blow through the stroke like the Explore forks used to do. It's a little less comfortable on the slow rocky stuff, as I mentioned, like it kind of gives you a jolt every now and then, so you kind of really have to be on it, but it's fast when you do that. In terms of other things, the clutch pull is a lot heavier than the gas, which I don't like, and the way the clutch engages, the point of engagement is much further out, so I had to pull the clutch lever much further back towards the bars, and I don't know, maybe it's just me needing to get used to the bike, but yeah, it's something to think about. It just made it awkward when I was going up rocks and stuff. I was not really in the right part of the clutch to be getting all the drive that I wanted and all that, so that kind of didn't help. Other things, the engine, the TBI engine is very smooth. It's I don't know, like electronic power valve and all that. The TBIs, I found they were weak off the bottom. They were really good in the mid-range and the top end. So they kind of signed off a little bit early, but never really used that anyway. But you needed to kind of gas it a bit more to get it to go. So that made it harder to ride in slowest technical situations, because you didn't have that just off idle torque that you wanted. So you had to rev it up a bit to get it to go, and then so there was, you kind of had to learn how to ride it. It was very smooth as well, but this one is smooth and has a bit more bottom end. It feels like it can lug a lot more. You're not feeling like you have to crank open the throttle and wait for the revs to climb and then start clutching, with the TPI that used to happen. So you were always kind of like having to stay ahead of the bike a little bit. This one, there's much more immediate power right off the bottom end, and I guess I just need to get used to that clutch, because I think I found that it was much more usable, especially in the tech sections, so that I'm really excited about. And I've got the map switch on. I've tried both the soft map and the hard map. They don't seem to do a hell of a lot. I would say the soft map, like I'm here in my local riding area, and it's not super fast, but I did just kind of play with the maps a bit, but I found myself just leaving it in the soft map because I wanted that kind of more smooth power, and the hard map just made it a little bit too aggressive in the slow tech stuff. So where we ride here is very, very rocky and technical, lots of ledges and sort of hill climbs and stuff like that. So you want more that predictable power. But yeah, the power is good. Other things, what I got with the bike, I haven't been really being too adventurous yet because I haven't got handguards yet. These are just the plastic ones that come with the bike. I'm not going to get wraparounds. I usually get wraparounds, but the full metal ones. But this time I'm opting for just some flags, some Cycra flags that are a little bit more sturdy, but not the full wraparounds. So I'll see how that goes. I ordered a fan with it. That's critical. The last bike I had a Trail Tech fan. This is like the KTM OEM fan. I don't know, like it seems to do the job. It's a lot quieter than the Trail Tech fan, that's what I'll say. Sometimes I wasn't even sure that it was on, but it definitely is, and it's pumping a lot of air, but didn't feel, the other one I could really hear it come on. This one, it doesn't seem to. The fuel light comes on crazy early. I know people have been complaining about the fuel pickup being in the middle of the tank and you not being able to get all the gas down from here. I don't know, I'll have to check that out. All I will say is that it's pretty scary when the fuel light comes on and it's halfway empty. You're kind of like, well, shall I trust this thing or not? So for now, I ran it quite a long way yesterday with the fuel light on. It didn't stop or anything, so I don't know, maybe it's just because the fuel pickup's there, it can't go any lower than that, so that's when it comes on. But it is kind of unnerving. Other things I just got the swing arm guards as well, and a bash plate with the bike. I'm gonna get a carbon fiber pipe guard. They're not the best, but they help with the little dings and bashes. I don't like putting the big cages on. I just don't like having that much weight and bulk attached to the bike. I know it's gonna get bent, it's gonna get dinged, but the carbon fiber pipe guards, they do help just keep it in relatively good shape until you take like a massive hit, and then you have to take it off and blow it out with one of those what do you call them, Hydroforce jobbies, which I have at home, which helps to blow the pipes out whenever you need to. The starter switch, yeah, people have complained about this, and I can see why. It's not as easy to use as the previous ones, the simple ones. Those ones were so light, and this is not that tactile. Like, it's got like a lower profile and it's harder to push. So it just does make a little difference when you're hanging off a rock and you need to get to it. I found this, like the one on my old bike, I could just reach out a thumb and just stab it and it would start up. This one you kind of searching around for a little bit, and then like if you hit it on the side or you don't get enough downward pressure, it doesn't start up immediately, and that's just annoying. Not a deal breaker. I might switch that out for one of the old style. So at the moment I've kind of pushed it up as far as it can go, because when it comes normally it's too far down. So when you're really like in the rocks or something, and now you've got to be down here and push it, so I pushed it up as far as it would go and out as far as it would go, and so that's as good as I can get it, and it's okay. Like I said, not a deal breaker, but just slightly annoying. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm trying to get used to it. I will say, like on the gas, the linkage, like I said, it made it really comfortable, especially with that bladder conversion. It like soaked up all the trail trash. It was like a plush leather couch, and it was really cool for like the trails and stuff. And when you're approaching obstacles, you didn't feel like you were going to get knocked around. It was just really soft. The whole bike was just really soft, and and that was great. This one, yeah, like I said, you have to be, your body position has to be right. If you're gonna be too upright coming up to an obstacle and you hit something like a rock or something, or a hole, it's gonna knock you one way or the other. So you have to be, within that correct position, knees bent, elbows bent, and just make sure that that you're on it. Whereas the gas would just soak it up, especially that linkage, because it was so progressive. Just soak all that stuff up, and then you could just attack stuff. But it did tend to squat, and that made it harder to turn in the twisties and the single track. And this is just like a razor. It's got much more of a sort of a stink buggy type of posture, and it wants to get you over the front of the bike, and it's much more of a sit up and beg type of style. So yeah, like I found, like, just turning is just this in carbs. The lack of a linkage down there is a big win. That used to drive me crazy on the gas. Just having to be aware of, like, when you're going down a rocky section and there's there's a couple steps or whatever, and if you didn't get enough drive, you'd just have a clunk, and it would just throw the bike, and just upset everything, and it just doesn't sound great. And without not having that, I've always had KTMs before that gas, and I never realized how much of a win that is. So I'm really pleased about that. Yeah, I'm still a little bit, I'm still being a little bit conservative with riding this thing. It's still new. The tires are absolute rubbish. This is still got a tube in it, and I don't know what, it's a Maxxis Enduro or something. It's a harder tire. It's got no traction at all, so I need to swap that out. I'll probably leave the front tire on there, but it's a thinner tire. I normally run a 190, I think. I don't know what that is, but it's definitely thinner. But yeah, overall, digging it. I'll see what kind of changes I want to make over the next couple of months. So far, I probably will try and get one of those Clake One Light clutches or something like that for the clutch pull. That's kind of my first order of business. And then disc guards. I need to get those as well. I had on my old bike, I had an old disc guard that I thought would fit, and it seemed like it would, like from my research, but I swapped it over, and it just won't let the back wheel come back far enough. It fits, but you can't get the back wheel further. It's just like, I don't know, like 2 mils too big on the inside. And so, like, yeah, it was weird, because it seemed like it was fitting, and then I looked at the back wheel, I was like, no, I can't get it to go straight. So that I need to get as well. But yeah, other than that, that's a quick 2-hour review. KTM 300 EXC TBI 2024 model. Yeah, hopefully this helps someone else out there that's considering one of these, or maybe even the 25s. I think this might be relevant as well. But yeah, that's it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Cheers.